Suppose f of x equals 1 over x minus 4 and g of x equals x squared. Evaluate f of g of 3. Find the formula for the composite of function f of g and what is the domain of f of g. A comment about the notation. The notation f circle g is a composite of function, and it means f of g of an input. F of g alone is the name of the function, but when we evaluate the function, we would plug in an input. And to evaluate the composite of function, we would first evaluate the inner function. And so we would leave the f outside alone and evaluate g of 3. Now g of 3 is 3 squared because g of x is x squared. And so after we evaluate the function g at x equals 3, we would get 9. And so we plug in 9 in there into g of 3. Again, evaluating the inner function first. And then when we get to f of 9, we have to use the function f. But f of 9 is 1 over, we replace x with 9. So f of g of 3 is 1 over 5. B. Find a formula for the composite of the function f of g. A formula for the function is f of g of x. This doesn't mean multiplying x. This is just simply a function notation where the x is an input and it is the variable of the function. By definition, this is f of g of x. The outer function is f and the inner function is g. As with the case before, we're going to work with the inner function first. The inner function g of x is x squared. The time, if we were to plug x into g of x, we would still end up with x squared. And then this looks simpler now. We end up with f of x squared, so we have to go to the function f. The function f says we would take the reciprocal of the input minus 4. And so whatever the input is, we would take the input minus 4 and then take the reciprocal of it. The input is now x squared. We subtract 4 and then 1 in the numerator. And so again, f of x is 1 over x minus 4. F of x squared is x squared minus 4. This x is a placeholder. And so this is a formula for the composite of function. Observe that if we were to plug in 3 into this function, we would get 1 over 3 squared minus 4, which is 1 over 9 minus 4, or 1 over 5, which is the same answer we got earlier. For part C, to find the domain of this composite of function, we look at the formula. This only works, or this function is defined only if x squared minus 4 is not 0. And so we would need to isolate x. To isolate x, we would factor x squared minus 2 squared to end up with x minus 2 times x plus 2, and we want it to be not equal to 0. And so we would need x not equal to and x not equals negative 2. And so we would list the domain of the composite of function. It's a set of all real numbers except 2 and negative 2. So we go from negative infinity to negative 2. And then we picked up negative 2 to 2. And then we also pick up 2 to infinity. And so the domain is the set of all real numbers on the number line from negative infinity to infinity, but we would take out negative 2 and we would take out 2. we would end up with 3 intervals, and we combine these 3 intervals using the union symbol.